Driving under the influence, teenage drunk driving, Part 1. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, has collated figures from 2016 showing that although drivers between the ages of 15 and 20 make up just over 5% of all licensed drivers in the United States, they are responsible for almost 10% of all fatal traffic collisions. A staggering 19% of the 4,514 adolescent drivers involved in fatal accidents that year had alcohol in their systems. According to a National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism research, 10% of all alcohol consumed in the country is consumed by young people between the ages of 12 and 21. Given that it is against the law for anybody under the age of 21 to consume alcohol, these statistics are astounding. The percentage of high school students who drink and drive has decreased by 54% since 1991, although the number of 16 to 20-year-olds killed in collisions has recently started to rise. Teenage driver fatal crashes have increased nationwide by 3.6% since 2015. Given that alcohol is a factor in more than 30% of all fatal juvenile vehicle accidents, underage drinking has a lot to answer for in this case. Teenage drunk driving accidents sometimes entail a high amount of alcohol. According to NHTSA crash data from 2016, 674 of the 862 young drivers who were involved in fatal incidents and had consumed alcohol did so after the crash. This puts them beyond the 0.08% legal limit for adults. Teenagers in the United States die most frequently in traffic accidents, and it is obvious that underage drinking plays a role in this issue. Why do so many teen drivers disregard the dangers and drive after drinking alcohol is the issue? Myths versus facts about teen drinking. The issue of underage drinking is complex and has no obvious source. Alcohol is frequently consumed by teenagers, and even adults, due to misconceptions about what it will do to their self-esteem and personal image. It's common to believe that consuming alcohol can boost your confidence, help you forget your problems, and make you seem cool in front of your pals. The exact reverse is true in reality. The following are some prevalent alcohol misconceptions that are untrue. Myth: drunkenness will make you popular among your colleagues. Truth: drinking isn't really cool. It is probably for the wrong reasons if consuming alcohol seems to increase your popularity with others. When intoxicated, people frequently behave erratically, making them the butt of jokes among their friends. When you've had a few drinks, you can feel like you're the heart and soul of the celebration, but more often than not, others are laughing at you rather than with you. Slurred speech, diminished motor function, the inability to construct logical words, tripping, falling over, and vomiting are all symptoms of alcohol intoxication. Nobody will find this kind of behavior impressive. You might draw jeers, sympathy, or anger from others. You can experience guilt the following day over your inebriated behavior and have to put up with crude people making fun of you for it. Myth: drunkenness will improve your confidence. Alcohol does really reduce inhibitions, giving the drinker a momentary boost of self-assurance and carefreeness. These ostensibly good effects, nevertheless, are short-lived. Regular alcohol use will have a negative impact on your mental health over time. Alcohol alters the brain's chemical equilibrium, which will gradually cause you to experience daily life with less happiness, confidence, anxiety, and even depression. Furthermore, you can come to the realization that you need alcohol to motivate you to engage in conversation or connect with others. This is the start of alcoholism. Myth: drinking alcoholic beverages allows you to get out of problems. Truth: if anything, drinking will make things worse. Alcohol does not solve any of your current difficulties, it merely dulls your pain and diverts your attention for a short period of time. Your problems will still be there when you sober up, and you might even have new ones to add to them, such as what you did the night before or how you're going to get through the exam while still feeling drunk. Alcohol is frequently negatively received by persons who are unhappy, anxious, or stressed out. You could experience emotions other than joy and carefreeness, such as rage, hopelessness, depression, or even suicidal thoughts. Myth: if you don't drink alcohol, your friends won't want to hang out with you. Refusing alcohol will undoubtedly earn you greater respect from your pals. Nowadays, young people are more health conscious than ever, abstaining from alcohol, drugs, and other harmful practices than ever before. It's possible that by abstaining from alcohol, others choose to do the same. Whatever the case, there is nothing you could not do without alcohol that you would do while drinking. You can still attend social gatherings and parties, you just won't have to deal with regrettable recollections of humiliating behavior or hangovers the following day. Anyone who avoids you or criticizes you because you don't drink alcohol is not really your buddy, and they are not worth your time. Myth: drunkenness will prevent your friends from pressuring you. Truth: your buddy's coercive behavior won't stop there if you let them force you to drink booze. Once they see that you are susceptible to peer pressure, they will know just how to handle you the next time you decide against taking part in some risky or illegal action. Alcohol use is a slippery slope. In the end, you might feel forced into stealing, using drugs, or other criminal behavior. Driving under the influence, teenage drunk driving, Part 2. Heightened risk for new drivers. The CDC reports that adolescent drivers between the ages of 16 and 20 are 17 times more likely to die in an accident when their blood alcohol content, BAC, is 0.08% than when they are sober. That dramatically increases the risk. Younger drivers are already at a substantially higher risk than older drivers of getting in an accident or collision. Alcohol and other drugs that affect the mind make for an environment where something is bound to go wrong. So why is it that even without drinking, teenage drivers have a much higher chance of being in a collision? Lack of driving experience is one of the main danger factors for younger drivers. A driver is more likely to be in an accident in the first few years after getting their license because they do not yet have enough experience to foresee how various road conditions will play out. They are therefore more likely than older drivers to underestimate risk and misjudge moves. Teenagers are also more likely to take risks since they have not yet come to terms with their death. To impress their pals, they can drive recklessly, or they might simply fail to properly understand the repercussions of their choices. Teenagers often take risks by driving too fast, racing, dodging traffic, and not using seatbelts. Younger drivers can become distracted more easily than older ones. Other young passengers in the car are frequently the main source of this distraction. Additionally, teen drivers must deal with distractions like music, cell phones, and worries about their families, jobs, and classes. Any of these distractions could cause a loss of control or cause a driver to miss road dangers and other crucial information. To further help you understand the risk that alcohol poses to teenage drivers, here are a few more statistics. 1,908 drivers between the ages of 15 and 20 lost their lives in fatal collisions in 2016. A BAC of at least 0.01% was present in 24% of these drivers. 19% of people had BACs of 0.08 or above. Young drivers who were involved in fatal collisions and had been drinking 44% of the time were not restrained. Young drivers who died in fatal collisions and had been drinking accounted for 58% of those who were not wearing seatbelts. Alcohol causes forgetfulness, clouded cognition, restricted motor abilities, poor judgment, and overconfidence, which increase all the inherent deficiencies that juvenile drivers already experience. Almost half of all teenage drivers involved in fatal drunk driving accidents in 2016 were not wearing seatbelts at the time of the occurrence, as can be seen from the numbers above. The impact of alcohol on their reasoning and judgment very probably contributed to this. The NHTSA statistics show that a staggering 19% of young drivers who were killed in fatal collisions while intoxicated had a blood alcohol content, BAC, that was higher than the permitted adult limit. This indicates the propensity of teenagers to binge drink, which involves consuming a lot of alcohol in a short length of time. Teenagers who drink and drive are likely to be significantly impaired when they get behind the wheel as a result of a widespread binge drinking. This brings us to the third and last reason why juvenile drinking and driving is such a serious issue in the US. Youngsters do not have enough alcohol experience to know when to stop or how much to drink. Once an adolescent has had any alcohol, their judgment is severely impaired, making them more likely to continue drinking. A juvenile driver's inability to tolerate alcohol also means that the physical and mental effects of alcohol consumption will likely be significantly worse for them. Reduce risk as much as possible. You must take every precaution to reduce your risk of getting involved in an accident or collision if you are a juvenile driver. You already have a disadvantage because you're a young, inexperienced driver. You cannot afford to participate in risk-taking activity that will enhance the danger you encounter on the road if you value your life and your future. Remind yourself that drinking alcohol is generally not a good idea. Do not drive after drinking, it is not worth the risk.